What if I told you that in the next 14 minutes, I'm going to share with you how you can turn the expertise you already have as a coach, consultant, speaker, strategist into a 5 and 6 figure corporate contract? Would you stick around? Well, listen, you're here, so you might as well come on in, grab a paper, grab a pen, because we're going to move fast. I'm going to share with you exactly how you can do that in just 14 minutes. So let's dive right in. If you haven't met me, my name is Kirsten Allen. I'm a retired account executive. I've worked for 2 Fortune 500 companies, sold over $16 million B2B, and decided to trade that all in for my own business where I now work with companies, experts, individuals to get more corporate contracts in their business. I'm the author of Get Corporate Clients Now and the leader of this entire movement, showing people the simple pathways that they can develop consistent contracts as a business owner and even as a company. So I'm excited to be with you here today. I'm excited to dive into this topic because here's the thing. Most people are very intrigued and excited about the idea of getting corporate contracts, but then a couple of questions start swirling through your head. So let me know in the comments if any of these questions have been yours. Number one, who do I talk to? Number two, what are they looking for? Number three, and how do I get them interested in what I do? So I want you to drop a 1, 2, or 3 if any of those questions have ever come to your mind, whether you've done contracts before, maybe through a referral base, or if this is a new line of business that you are pursuing. So let's get into it and use these questions to frame our conversation today. So the first thing that I often hear is, what are corporations looking for? And here's the deal. When I talk to people about this, I tell them very simply, when it comes to companies and organizations, they only pay for two things: to make more money or save more money. Whatever your solution is, it really does not matter. I'll give you some examples of different contracts that I've supported people in getting, but if you can articulate how you fall in the grand scheme of what these companies need in those two areas, save or make more money, you could pitch virtually anything. Anything that solves a business problem is something that can be applied to a corporation. This is why I talk to experts, because y'all have decades of experience, whether that's in your corporate career, in business, whatever the case may be. You have skill sets, you have IP, you have talks that you've done, you have coaching programs. All of those things are opportunities to position those things with corporate, even books. And so, what my role is and what my intention is in this time with you today is open your eyes to what these opportunities could look like and position yourself. So, once you've decided what area you fall in, and maybe that's a question for you to really understand more about what that can look like. For majority of the people that are likely watching this video, you provide some type of service. You provide some type of transformation, whether that is in coaching, whether that's more of hard skills like marketing or sales or something to the effect of a skill set that people need to understand to build their businesses, to build their skill sets. With that, you likely are going to be impacting the employees of an organization. How do I know that? If you work with people now, you'll be working with people inside an organization, right? So, generally speaking, a lot of people that I talk to and work with are supporting teams. So, that may be contacting and being in the loop with the HR department. That could be with the marketing team. That could be selling to directors and trainers of sales teams, like I was. And I'm going to give you an example of people who had gotten contracts with my company well before I even thought about doing anything that I'm sharing with you guys today. But they always have this need, no matter what's going on in the economy. We see at the time of recording this video is so much going on with layoffs and DEI and all these different things going on. But what we must understand is that companies are always spending money on their people. People are their highest value asset. No matter what AI platforms come out, no matter what technology comes out, people are still going to be the highest value asset. So companies think like this: if I can make my people more productive, if I can make them happier and make them making me more money, then I'm going to spend whatever I need to do in order to do that. This is why they spend hundreds of thousands of dollars in leadership development. This is why nonprofits get grants and have huge budgets for staff wellness and staff development, because again, people are the heart of the organization. You have no success if you don't have strong people. I'm diving into this deeply because I Also want anyone listening to this that's an expert to understand the value that you carry. That's going to be very, very important as you go into negotiations, conversations, as you're pitching yourself, as you are having discovery calls. You got to be solid in the value that you offer. Too often, I hear conversations of people where they've tried to work with organizations and it feels like they're more of an employee. Even the way that they go about positioning themselves is almost like they're asking for the opportunity to work with them. And that's not the standpoint and that's not the mindset that I would advise you to be in. So, since you're here, congratulations, you're getting a mini coaching session with me. Don't do that. Make sure that you understand the value that you offer to these organizations beyond just knowing your number and knowing what your services cost. But I want people to understand when they pay you, no matter what price point they're paying, they're getting a steal. They are getting a heck of a deal because what you know, what you're able to teach them, and whatever format and framework that you use is going to help them make millions of dollars, especially if you are working with people who help the company make more money, like their salespeople. I just shared with you my career and how much I sold in my organization throughout my time in this space. And I'm just one person. And I'm not one of those people who were there for 20, 30 years and, retire. Like just, I say retire because I decided to leave, not because I waited to 65 or whatever the case may be. But think about those people who have been there for 40, 50 years and they continue to use these skill sets to make a company more money. They're getting billions of dollars off of one person. So just reframing your mind, even when we're talking about, 5 and 6 figure contracts, that's the minimum in terms of the impact that you're going to make when you're working with these organizations. So I want you guys to keep that in mind. Understand that these organizations have an expectation of what they're going to pay for these types of services because they know the impact that it's going to create for them. The other thing in terms of your value that I want to point out here is that companies are generally way behind times. Like my last position, so I've been out for a year at the time of recording this, but my last position, they were just starting to talk about Chat GPT. And we know ChatGPT has been out for years, for a few years now at this point, but they were just starting to bring up the conversation where I was watching my peers in entrepreneurship, including myself, already mastering it. Like people already having courses and training and like understanding the platform on a deep level where a large, well-known organization that I worked for that if any of you saw the name, you would understand and know the brand were behind times in a technology company, y'all. So I point that out to say your value add as an expert, as a entrepreneur, as a business owner is your agility and your innovation. The ability to learn things and implement fast and build frameworks and processes that get real outcomes is your ticket to success when it comes to corporations. And most times they will outsource people who already understand, who can already put together what they should be doing and give them a plan for it over trying to figure it out themselves. They don't have resources to do that. They're not going to use their human capital that could be doing other things like closing deals and their actual work to go out and figure out how to use Chat GPT. No, they're going to go ahead and hire someone who's got the processes, who's got the things in place, bring them in, train them, use the process, rinse and repeat. So keep that in mind as we move forward and you think about what types of things that you can be offering to these organizations. Okay, so those are the type of things. In a practical sense, I've helped people position mindfulness workshops. I've worked with a therapist who did talking circles and executive coaching for leaders inside of nonprofits. I've worked with someone who did some very soft, I would say, skill sets, experiential opportunities where she helped people be able to expand in their creative mind, help them be able to get into a space where they can develop and create productively based upon some skill sets and frameworks that she had developed. Something that she thought corporations would never pay for because her approach is out of the box. She is very free spirited. She is not corporate buttoned up wearing a suit. She is very vibrant in terms of her personality and how she likes to serve people, but it works and it gets results. And what we found through our work together is that a particular set of the corporate market literally ate that up. They were like, yes, this is what we want. The things that she thought that they would never be into was exactly what they wanted, because companies are also tired of just hiring people to come in and talk in a suit and be boring and give workbooks and everybody goes back to their office and it's business as usual. We're done with that. The thing about most of you all that I know, my person, when I imagine you in my mind, I'm like, if you got on stage and if you got with these companies, even in a small team format, and taught them just one piece of your framework, they would literally be mind blown. It would be things that they've never heard of before, that in our space, we would be like, okay, that makes sense. You know, it's similar to things that we've heard. They've never heard it before. They're going to be enamored just by that particular thing that you're sharing. So, to continue on, and then it's been more of soft skills. It's been leadership development. It's been things like communication. It's been emotional intelligence. I've worked with someone who was an expert in executive presence and was a corporate trainer in her career and helped her start working with universities, who are my favorite clients, to position her workshops with students. So the possibilities are endless, y'all. Like the opportunities are literally endless. And as long as you can sell it, meaning you could speak about it, you can talk about how it helps them to achieve their priorities, then you can sell it, meaning close the deal. So if you can sell it, you can sell it. That's what you need to understand as you're moving into this space of like, what are they looking for now? What are the things going on now? We hear a lot about layoffs. And of course, there's a lot of burnout with that. There's a lot of stress and things going on in the organization. Whatever you do, it doesn't matter if you're doing something that's really far out there, that, like I said, is just not even what you would imagine when you think about corporate, but it's effective. Or if you're more of a person who has those soft skills or those hard skills that could be a benefit to organizations, if you know how to speak about it and you know how to position it, you can sell it. Okay, so let's go on to the next question that I often hear is, who do I need to speak to? And this question is really like a layup. Once you get clear on what it is that you offer, what that make more money, save more money balance is for you and what that looks like, then you can get clear on people that you need to speak with. Most of my clients are in contact with folks in HR, leadership development, employee engagement. If they're looking to work with universities, again, my favorite, student activities, it might be the leadership development folks for the staff. Nonprofits could be executive directors or their own leadership director, trainer, manager, those types of folks. The key here is getting the right pitch or the right message is only 50% of the battle. It does not matter if you have the perfect thing that you want to say, you have it all buttoned up, and it falls on the wrong ears. They're not going to do the work to figure out who you need to reach out to. You need to do the legwork beforehand to understand who's already in conversation with people like me, event planners, corporate meeting planners. I mean, those type of people already look for folks like you. Those are the folks that you want to speak to. LinkedIn is your friend for doing this, but also getting in the rooms. Where are your ideal clients already attending associations, conferences, events? In those spaces are where deals are done. But the prerequisite is the first step that we just talked about a moment ago. You've got to know very clearly how you're positioned. Most people are telling you need a corporate offer, and I've used that language because I understand that that's what people gear towards. But let me tell you, a corporate offer means nothing if you don't have the positioning and understand how you solve corporate problems. And when you understand that, you don't even have to create a corporate offer. You will actually be able to talk with a client, which is what I recommend, and have them design what that offer can look like. And you're literally just putting a price point on it based on the budget and moving forward and closing the deal. That's the easiest way to do this. I think a lot of people want to make it complicated. They want y'all out here creating funnels and doing all these things. But when it boils down to it, when I think about all the dollars that I've sold to organizations, it was on the back of a conversation. It was on the back of talking to people who already bought what I was selling before. And I was just positioning what I had to solve the needs or gaps that they had. And it was listening to them. understanding their needs, and then crafting a offer, a proposal, a opportunity for them to get that solved with me. If you don't take anything else from that, write that piece down, because that is how you're going to make more money and get more contracts in your business. And then the last thing, what do I say to get them interested? Here's the thing. This is my philosophy and what I believe. When you are reaching out, most people are like, what do I need to say in my pitch? And they're thinking about putting together their services into this pretty buttoned up thing that they're going to pass off to these organizations and say, here, buy this. This is where the record scratches. It don't work like that. What actually is going to happen is you are going to sell them on having a conversation with you first. That has always been my approach way back in the day. That is how I was brought up to do it, and that's how I created success in my career. Always ask to have the conversation first, because then you get to understand what their specific needs are before you put together an offer and a pitch. A pitch and an offer should be way down the line. Your first mission, if you choose to accept it, is to get a call on the calendar, to capture their interest and showing that you've done some type of research in their company, in their industry. Again, LinkedIn, their website, Industry Insights is your friend for that. And then saying, hey, I'm curious about your priorities around this. Here's a little bit about what I do. Would you be open to having a conversation to discuss a potential partnership or to discuss your priorities around this? I'm curious to learn more. You will be surprised how many people will be like, sure, yes, let's have a conversation, especially if you get what I said right before. Is this the right person? Is this the person that's already in communication or conversation with people like you? If so, this is going to work well for you. All right. So with all that put together, you position yourself for 5 and 6 figure opportunities very easily, faster than your mind can even probably conceive right now. Even if you've never had to pitch before, you could be someone who's like, well, I've done corporate opportunities, but maybe they were by referral. That's great. Now you want to go backwards, get these things set in place so you can be able to expand intentionally and reach out to the people who could also benefit from your services and look for people like you. Now, if you thought this was great and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm excited about this now, I'm ready to get out here and start pitching for some of these opportunities, but I likely have some more gaps that I want to understand what this specifically looks like for me, you are in luck. I created a brand new assessment and it's just for you. It's 5 minutes. It's questions that I've designed that help us be able to understand exactly where your gaps are from your positioning, your offer delivery, your system and outreach, and then looking at how are you creating repeatable opportunities in your business so that you only need a handful of corporate contracts to really explode and scale your business. So we're looking at all those areas. You answer the questions and then you instantly get a report that was again written by me. It's going to be customized based upon your answers to give you the next steps on what I would recommend if I were talking directly to you to get more contracts in your business. And guess what? Because I always love to add gifts and surprises. You get an opportunity after you complete the assessment to book a call with either myself or a member of my team to do a debrief. And this is not just, hey, we're walking you through your report. We're actually going to give you some additional insights and ask you some more questions about your particular business so that we can map out a strategy and a rough roadmap of what you can use to start activating these contract opportunities now. When is the best time to get contracts? Yes, there are several times throughout the year, but the best time is right now as you're watching this video to go out here and do this. So I'm excited for you to grab the assessment. The link to take the assessment is in the description. Again, it'll be the best 5 minutes that you spend today. You'll get your report instantly and you'll have that opportunity to book your debrief call so that you can get your specific strategy in play. I cannot wait to see your results. I get to see all of them. We've had a couple dozen people take this assessment already. We're getting great feedback. And so I know that you will get that as well once you take the time to just go through it, answer the questions honestly, and then we'll go from there. All right. So get your assessment in. At any rate, take the notes that you took today and start to put this into place. It's too much money being left on the table that experts like you should be tapping into. All right. I'll see you on the next video.